Hello, Pisces. I'm Adriana, and in today's reading, we're asking the question, what is the rift between my soul and myself that is asking to be recognized and healed at this time? We're going to start off with looking at some context for asking this question, and then really get into the meat or the theme of what your soul's message is for you. If you are on the spiritual journey, you know that this is a continual process of checking in with the soul, with the higher self, asking, where am I? How close are we to being together? Because your higher self, total communion with the higher self, that is heaven on earth. That is what we are trying and striving to feel. And we're also striving to live out our soul's message and our soul's purpose for us. So this reading is really intended to be for those asking those types of questions. Okay, so if that's you, I'm so glad that you're here, and I'm so glad that you're joining me. Okay, so context, please. All right, Queen of Swords, Three of Cups, Ace of Wands, birth, and justice. So interesting, we're bookended with two very strong air energies having to do with fairness and equality. Okay. So we're looking at circumstances surrounding a birth. Ace of Wands being in the middle there. So we're looking at the circumstances surrounding a birth, and we've got kind of two extremes happening. On one side, we've got Queen of Swords with the Three of Cups. So one side of the birth was about people kind of getting together, maybe not watching their choices so much, but getting together and doing something that seemed like a good idea at the time. But on the other side, we've got justice saying, was it really a good idea? So this seems like it could be like a kind of a custody battle almost, because justice is like being in court, waiting for justice to be done. So surrounding this birth was a situation where one's best judgment or clear frame of thought, clear frame of mind was not present, that there were pressures from other energies, other people saying, hey, this is all a good idea. Maybe everyone else is doing it, so I should do it too. That kind of peer pressure. And it gives birth to this new being. And I'm going to clarify if we're talking about an actual baby, like a being, or if this is more like the birth of a creative project. What is our Ace of Wands actually talking about? So Ace of Pentacles and the Princess of Cups. So this looks like the beginning of a relationship. So we've gotten into, so the birth I was talking about is the birth of a new relationship. So you've gotten yourself into this situation where your better judgment is starting to wake up and say, hang on a sec, is this really what I want to be doing? And yet it felt like the right thing to do. It felt like a good foundation to start from. So let's look at what the soul's message is for you in this situation. Okay. We have got Three of Air, Five of Air, 10 of Earth, and the Tower. Okay. So Pisces, you're being shaken up quite a bit. And some of me wonders if this was a situation, regarding perhaps your birth or your parents getting together. Because of the 10 of Earth coming up with the Tower, we're looking at a legacy. And we're looking at something that has persisted over time and is continuing to persist. But with this 5 of air and the 3 of air, all of this questioning and the shaking up of what's going on and saying, wait a minute, was this the right thing to do? The regretful thinking. I feel like this is positive. Let me just look at the cards this way for a second. Sometimes when I'm looking at them backwards, the message is weird. Okay. Because of the choices that are being made, Pisces, the choices of leaping before looking, so you're being asked to look before you leap, leaping before you look, you're not able to build the sustaining kind of legacy or the long kind of relationships that are actually sustaining and good for you. The 5 of air and 3 of air come in to say that there's selfishness at play, there's betrayal at play. So you've got these energies that are not nurturing. They do things at your expense and you reap the consequences. So, you get yourself into these situations where you don't start with the right intention. So 3 of cups ending with a 3 of air. I'm just looking at everything, and then we've got the double ones, Ace of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles. But the 3 of cups got you in the situation, but then the situation turns on you is the thing. So rather than listening to yourself, you're listening to what other people are telling you is the right thing to do, or you're trying to do what the status quo is doing, what would make you accepted by other people. But then at some point, those people that supported you in your choice have an agenda of their own, and they end up turning on you. And it's like somehow you were in the wrong. Even though they're the ones that were pushing you a certain way, you're ending up in the wrong. So where does the soul want you to go with all of this? I'm being told to stay with this current spread, so let's keep looking at this current spread. Okay, where do we go with this? So Pisces, the message is that you are betraying the essence of your desire. Because it must be so easy to be swept away with other people, with what other people are wanting, both the people that were encouraging to get you into these situations and the other person in the relationship themselves. You keep wanting to build something that's solid on a good, strong foundation, and the other is more emotionally immature, and they end up taking more from you than they end up giving you. But it's weird because Pisces, you're blamed in the end for that. Even though they were the ones taking, it always turns around to hit you like it was your fault. So what is the soul's advice here? Okay, actually, one card to represent the rift between your higher self and your soul. No, between you and your higher self. Higher self and soul can't have a rift there. But something I didn't say that on an accident, because something is breaking those two things apart. The soul is the accumulation of lifetimes and the accumulation of different personas that you have and different lessons you've learned. The higher self is part of you that's the direct connection to source that sees. I'm sorry, I'm having something happen with a candle in front of me. I can't pick it up to show you because you won't be able to see the flame, but it's bifurcating almost into a heart. So it is kind of like these two divine parts of you are split somehow. The higher self and the soul are split somehow. And that's not usual, because the higher self is usually connected to the soul. The higher self is the engine. It's like spirit that is driving the soul to make the choices it's making. But right now, that's what our tower was. You had this rift going between those two, and that is the cause of these choices. And then the thinking, the regrets, the second guessing those choices. So one word for the rift, please. Elder of Earth. So that is the disconnect from the universe, and it is coming from, where is this coming from? Okay, Elder of Earth, talk to me here. Why is this disconnect happening? There's a lack of rootedness in the body. So Pisces, the need to ground yourself here is really important, because what it seems like is, because you're not completely grounding in your body, your soul is not at home in the body, and there's a fracture. It's creating a fracture between the soul and the higher self. So because the soul doesn't have a place to land, the higher self cannot send information. It can't send energy. It's perhaps as technical to understand as like an outlet not being grounded. So when an outlet isn't grounded, the current can't safely flow through without causing a short circuit or some kind of electrical fire or explosion. So when you're not providing that grounded place for your soul to live, then the higher self can't connect with either one of you. And the Elder of Earth is the universe trying to get your attention, saying, we've got this disconnection here. I'm trying to get you to be more rooted. I'm trying to make you feel more supported. But all of this dysfunction you're seeing in your relationships is symptomatic of this disconnect. So I'm going to draw an oracle card for some advice, but I'm going to go deeper into the healing process that you can start in the extended reading. Link is in the description below. And so let's at least get a taste of what the advice is for you. Renewal of peace. I really like this card. So this is about dropping whatever's going on in this relationship, or if you're not in a relationship, dropping the over-processing about what has happened in relationships and come back to yourself. We're going to go deeper into this, and we're going to sort through this some more. I haven't ever had this message or this type of message come through in a reading, so this is really important. If you'd like to follow me over, the link is in the description below, as I said. And if not, please do check out your moon and your rising sign as well. I'll see you again soon, Pisces. Thank you for joining me.